Hey guys, so I just wanted to stop in and say hi before we started filming. This is going to be a client tutorial. So like if you've seen my other videos, I'm going to be doing makeup on a model and then she's going off to do a photo shoot. So that'll be really fun. I'll show you a quick glimpse of my working area so you can see the makeup that I'm going to be using today and the brushes and all that kind of stuff. And then I will do a voiceover and explain what I'm doing for every step of the tutorial. I'm not sure what kind of look we're doing yet, so it'll be a surprise for both of us. So we're going to start by clipping her hair back. Always want to do that, get it out of her face. Then I'm going to go in with my paint pot from MAC in the color Painterly and blend that onto the lid with a fluffy eyeshadow brush. So then we're going to go into my favorite palette. It's the Tartelette in Bloom palette by Tarte, of course. And I'm going to take that color Charmer and blend that on top of the paint pot. Then I'm going to take Smarty Pants with a fluffy crease brush and blend that into the crease. That's going to be our transition shade. And then I'm going to go into the color Rebel and blend this right into the crease with a smaller crease brush. Then I'm taking that color Activist on a really dense eyeshadow brush and applying that to the crease and then going back in with the fluffier crease brush and blending that line out. We're doing a pretty subtle cut crease today. And then you're going to take that color Leader and blend out that line. Now I'm going to go back in with the Painterly paint pot and just carve out the cut crease with that. So for our wing today, we're going to use the Tarteist Clay Paint Liner from Tarte Cosmetics with the little brush that comes in the package. And I'm going to create a somewhat dramatic wing with that. Now going back to the Tarte palette, I'm going to take the shade Funny Girl and pack that right on top of the paint pot that we put on earlier. Now to deepen the crease, we're going to go into the LORAC Mega Pro 2 palette and take the shade Black. And I'm going to pretty much extend the liner up into the crease. And then I'm going to take Rebel to blend out that really harsh line. And this part is really important. I'm blending that black shade up into the crease and into the lighter shade on the lid. And here I'm just showing you the steps again from another angle. With the black shade, I'm really accentuating that outer V. That's the main focus of this look, is creating that really thick, dark wing there and then blending it out. So to start skincare, I'm just going to make sure she has a clean face. Just using a makeup wipe for that. And then we're going to use this whipped lip scrub from the brand LUXE. You can find their products on MizzyCosmetics.com. I'll link it below. They have a lip scrub, they have lip balms, and they're all natural. They're really amazing. So I always like to start off with these with my clients. And Aliza chose to use the Peppermint lip balm today. For moisturizer, I'm going to use my Embryolisse Lait Cream Concentrate. And I'm just going to blend that into her skin to give a nice base for the rest of the makeup. And then we're going to go in with the NYX Dark Circle Corrector under the eyes. It's a nice orange peach shade, so it'll correct any dark colors under the eyes. And then we're going to go in with LA Girl's color corrector in green to correct any redness on her skin. So for foundation, I did mix a few shades. I definitely used Maybelline's Fit Me in 235. I used Kiko's Unlimited Foundation in 80 and a Milani foundation in Creamy Vanilla. So I like to apply the foundation with a flat foundation brush and then blend it out with a buffing brush. I'm using this one from Sedona Lace. And for our cream contour, I'm going to go in with an LA Girl concealer. Not sure exactly what shade it is, but I think it was one of the darker ones out of the pack. And I'm contouring below her cheekbones, around her nose, her forehead, and her jawline. And I'm going to blend that out with the same brush that I used to blend out the foundation. And now to conceal and highlight, I'm going to go in with the TEMPTU Pro SB Concealer Wheel and an e.l.f. stippling brush and stipple this under her eyes, below the contour, on her forehead, her nose, her cupid's bow, and her chin. And then I'm going to blend that out with the Sedona Lace buffing brush. Now we're going to go in with my favorite powder ever. This is the RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm just taking a sponge. I did spray it with a little bit of Fix Plus to grab more product, and I'm setting all of the areas that we just highlighted. Before I fill in the brows, I always like to brush them out with a spoolie just to get any powders out and straighten the hairs. Then we're going to go in with NYX Eyebrow Gel. I first started off with the color Chocolate, which ended up being a little too light, so I finished off the brows with the shade Espresso. When you get to the arch and the tail of the brow, you always want to make sure to brush the hairs down so you can really see the natural arch and shape of the brows. And then I always like to use whatever is left over on my brush on the inner portion of the brows, just to give a little bit of shading there. And then always brush through them to blend out any harsh lines. Now going back to the RCMA No Color Powder, I'm going to blend out all of that baking we did. I have a little bit of powder on the brush so that I can set the rest of the face that we hadn't originally baked. And now to my favorite step, or steps. We're going to go into the Kevyn Aucoin Contour Book, and I'm taking the color Sculpt. It's called the Sculpting Powder, and I'm using that same brush and giving her some shadows below her cheekbones, and on her forehead and her jawline, around her mouth, and on the sides of her nose. And I did end up going in with a more precise brush so that I can get a nicer, precise contour. And then for a really natural highlight, we're going to take the Celestial powder from the Kevyn Aucoin palette and apply that to the highlighted areas. Then we're going to go into my favorite palette of all time for the face, and this is the Becca Cosmetics and Jaclyn Hill Champagne Glow Face Palette. I'm taking the colors Rose Spritz, or Rosé Spritz, and Amaretto, and applying those to her cheekbones. And then I'm going to take Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop and mix those on a fan brush and highlight her cheekbones, down the bridge of her nose, her forehead, her cupid's bow, her chin, pretty much all over. This gave her a gorgeous glow. It looked beautiful on her. Then we're going to take the Smashbox bronzer in Warm Matte and give her a nice healthy warm bronze glow. And if we're going to highlight and bronze the face, then we have to highlight and bronze the chest as well. So I put that Smashbox bronzer under her collarbone and highlighted it with the Becca and Jaclyn Hill highlight palette. And then to set the face, I sprayed with MAC Fix Plus. To complete the eye look, we're going to go back into the Tarte palette, and I'm taking the shade Activist. on that dense eyeshadow brush and running that along her lower lash line. And then I'm going to go into the shade Rebel with the smaller, fluffier crease brush and blend that out. And then I'm going to go into the color Smarty Pants and blend both of those colors out. Now I'm taking the highlights and highlighting the brow bone and the inner corner. I like to use the same highlights so that the whole look blends together. I decided kind of last minute that I wanted to line her waterline, so I'm using Kiko's Everlasting Kajal eyeliner and applying that to the waterline and then using the dense eyeshadow brush to blend that out. Here I'm just taking a little bit of mascara on the disposable mascara wand and coating her top and bottom lashes. And then of course, no look would be complete without a pair of false lashes, at least in my book. So I wanted to double check the size first. I held them up to her eye and then cut off any excess that was on there, and then just put a little bit of Duo Lash Glue, put them on her eyes, and adjusted as needed. For lipstick, we decided to go bold. I mixed 2 lipsticks from ColourPop Cosmetics in the shade Bossy and Bichette. One's a darker red and one's more of like a true orange red. So they actually made a really nice combination together, and they're both matte finishes and are very long lasting. And then I'm just going to clean up the lips with a little bit of the leftover foundation from earlier. And you can never have enough Fix Plus, so of course I sprayed again. And this is the final look. I'm absolutely obsessed with it.